The Doña County Detention Center is authorized to have 185 officers. Last May, when the decision was made to close the Juvenile Detention Center, staffing levels got as low as 139 officers. Instead of having the recommended 28 to 30 officers staffing the Juvenile Facility, there were only 12. Now, with 172 officers and 28 officers for the Juvenile Facility, Doña County Detention Center Director Chris Barela says they are opening the facility a year ahead of schedule.
Right now, our attrition rate is still higher than we want, but it's not as bad as it used to be, and that's about 4 a month. At that time, sometimes it go up as high as 7, 8, 9 sometimes. And so it was real difficult to keep staff at that time. Since the step pay compensation plan has gone into effect and HR has helped us with the recruitment processes and helped us with the bringing them in and all the different processes that go with that, we've been able to stay ahead of that.
Barela says they are continuing work with HR to monitor the staffing levels.
We've maintained communication with one another to make sure that we don't start to suffer some setbacks on our attrition. So in other words, if we start seeing our attrition rate going up, we're going to quickly research as to why that's occurring.
A little over $75,000 was spent last year to make sure the portion of the adult facility the juveniles would be staying in was separated by both sight and sound. But Carly Romero, a member of the board of directors with CAFE, says many community members were concerned about the effect being in the adult facility would have on the youth housed there.
We know, as was shared today, that the adult detention center is much more volatile and probably pretty traumatic for youth to be inside of, which can be really triggering and activate a lot of anger and fear and frustration.
Doña County Commissioner Wayne Hancock says the commission made the issue a priority because of the community concerns. But it was a better option than sending juveniles to other counties.
I think it was a difficult choice to make, but I think it was the right choice. It made it possible for families to be closer to their children and for the attorneys to be closer to their clients.
Detention Center Director Barela says now that staffing levels are where they should be, they are making sure it stays that way.
We're also working on a plan for the future. I mean, are there going to be more juveniles into the future coming into this facility? And if so, we need to create some kind of strategic plan so that as this facility increases in population, we need to increase the officer staffing level at that time. And we need to do that ahead of time, not when it happens.
Carly Romero says she is concerned that officer retention wasn't being looked at closely in the past, and community members intend to keep a close eye on the facility.
This isn't something that the county was able to do quietly or without any backlash or community attention. They're very aware that the community was not happy about the choices that were made, and so I think they are going to take different, more proactive steps in the future. I also don't think that much accountability was taken for where those gaps were in the past.
The Juvenile Detention Center houses an average of 15 to 18 juveniles at a time. For KRWG, I'm Samantha Sonner.